My name is Tabria and I'm making voter guides for every single state for the midterms this year, and today we're doing Ohio. I'm going to skip the disclaimer because we have a lot to get through, but here are your important dates to remember. And in Ohio, you can register online, so there are absolutely no excuses. For y'all's governor race, you basically have the choice between Vivek Ramaswamy and Amy Acton. This should be a no-brainer because Amy Acton is the correct answer. She's been boots on the ground for nearly a year for this campaign. She actually cares about people. She was in and out of foster care, homeless at one point, and despite her beginnings, she became the director of the Ohio Department of Health, which shows how much of a hard worker she is. We absolutely do not need another billionaire in politics. Vivek is out, Amy is in. Now for your other statewide offices with more than one person running, I'm gonna go with John Kulowicz for Attorney General. I know some progressives are rallying behind Elliot Forham, but you're not gonna get people to vote for you when you say things like you're gonna kill Donald Trump. It doesn't matter how he clarified it, it's not gonna fly. For Secretary of State, I got Brian Hambly, who is a huge advocate for fair elections, ending confusing language on ballots, and no more gerrymandering. All right, now onto your federal offices. For US Senate, Sherrod Brown is the way. I would love to vote for someone like Greg Levy, but a vote against Sherrod Brown is a vote for John Huston, who is a Trump bootlicker and wasn't even elected. He was appointed to his seat. Literally all y'all's incumbent reps got money from AIPAC. I'm gonna run through these really quick, but just know I say this begrudgingly. Now for District 1, low-key kind of nervous for us because this seat could definitely flip. It's been held by a Republican since 1994, only flipped twice for one term. I don't think this district is ready to elect someone more progressive like Damon Lynch, so play it safe and stick with Greg Landsman. So for District 2, these two people are technically still running, but I can't find any campaign information online, so I just went on vibes and chose Mazzucchelli. All right, y'all got Joyce Beatty in District 3. She's held the seat for over a decade, and while she is very anti-Trump, that is just not enough nowadays. And since this is a safe blue district, I would vote for the more progressive candidate, Joe Girard. In District 4, y'all got Jim Jordan. At the least, he is someone who protects abusers. At the most, he is an abuser himself. There's only one person running against him, and that is Josh Kolazinski, and all he's running on is Facebook in a dream. But I would rather have him than that sick in office. In 5, I have Daniel Burkett, and 6, I have Adrian Vitas. Y'all just might be able to flip District 7. Max Miller only won by 51% in the last midterm election. I did have a hard time deciding who I would choose, but ultimately I went with Scott Schultz. District 8, I have Medeiros Grant, and in District 9, I have Marcy Kaptur. Okay, so in District 10, y'all might be able to make something shake. Christina Knickerbocker is the standout candidate to me. She's really zoned in on healthcare and veterans, and while her optics look great, I think she needs to explain her platform to include other issues. I don't know nothing about running a campaign, but that's just my 2 cents. Chantel Brown is your rep in District 11, and while she has a good voting record, she accepts so much money from AIPAC related donors. This is a safe blue district, so I would go for the more progressive candidate, Courtney Peterson. District 12 is super conservative, but I chose Jared Christian. District 13 is a toss-up, so play it safe with Amelia Sykes. In 14, I'd go with Bill O'Neill because he's a former state legislator. And in 15, I'd go with Adam Miller because he used to be a state senator. They both have decent funding, so might be able to make some work. Now it's time for your homework. Be sure you're registered to vote and periodically check your registration in case of any funny business going on. Check your polling place and sample ballots so you know what you'll be voting on beforehand. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share this with 3 friends online and offline so we can get as many people to the polls as possible. And I'll be back next with Nebraska.